Every morning, without fail, the retired canine appeared at the edge of the tree line, silent, unmoving, staring directly at the veteran's lonely cabin as if guarding it, or warning it. It never approached, never barked, never looked away. Veteran Cole Harris had seen many strange things during deployment, but nothing unsettled him like the abandoned German Shepherd watching him from the fey snow. Its eyes held a story of pain that felt too familiar. Cole Harris tried ignoring it. He tried shouting at it. He even threw a stick once, just to see if it would react. It didn't. Single quotes to. The dog just kept watching him, as if counting down to a moment Cole couldn't see. No tag. No collar. No owner. Just those haunting eyes every single day. Just a broken soldier watching another broken soul from a distance. But one morning, the clearing was empty. No paw prints. No shadow. No silent guardian. Cole felt the air shift, like the world had abruptly lost a heartbeat. Dogs like that don't just vanish. Not without a reason. Not without leaving a trail. And when Cole finally followed that trail into the woods, what he discovered changed everything he thought he knew about loyalty, loss, and fate. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The first snowfall of the season had settled quietly over the mountains, turning the world around Cole Harris's cabin into a frozen painting. Cole stood on his porch each morning with a cup of steaming coffee, breathing in the cold air that somehow felt cleaner than anything he'd breathed in years. Life in isolation suited him. After deployment, silence was no longer lonely, it was healing. But that winter, silence came with a pair of eyes. Every dawn, before the sun climbed over the treetops, a German Shepherd appeared at the edge of the clearing. Always the same spot. Always sitting perfectly still, staring straight at Cole, not barking, not growling, just watching. At first, Cole tried to ignore it. Animals came and went all the time. But this dog, this one felt different. There was discipline in its posture, readiness in its stance, and a strange sorrow behind its eyes that reminded Cole of soldiers who returned from war but never really came home. No collar, no tag, no sign of an owner, and yet the dog returned every single morning, as if it had a mission, as if he was the reason it kept coming back. The next morning, Cole stepped onto the porch carrying something he hadn't touched in months, a metal bowl. He filled it with leftover stew and walked slowly toward the edge of the clearing. The German Shepherd was already there, sitting like a statue carved from snow and shadow. Cole stopped several feet away and lowered the bowl to the ground. "Here," he said quietly, keeping his voice steady. "You look like you could use a warm meal." The dog didn't move, didn't blink, only watched his every motion with sharp, calculating eyes. Cole backed away, step by step, giving the dog space. Only when he reached the porch did the shepherd stand, approaching the bowl with careful, trained precision. It didn't devour the food like a starving stray. It checked its surroundings first. Every angle, every sound. That's when Cole knew. This wasn't an ordinary dog. This was a canine. Over the next few days, Cole tried again: food, water, even leaving an old blanket out in the snow. The shepherd accepted everything, but never let him get close. If Cole stepped forward, the dog stepped back, yet it always returned. Always watching. Always guarding something Cole couldn't see. And every time the wind shifted, the dog's ears perked toward the woods, not toward Cole, as if something out there still needed tracking. Or remembering. By the end of the week, Cole had grown used to the shepherd's silent presence. It wasn't just watching him anymore, it was watching everything. Its ears flicked at the slightest rustle. Its body stiffened at every distant crunch of snow. Cole noticed how the dog never faced him for long. Its gaze always drifted toward the tree line, toward the dark stretch of forest where the wind sounded like whispers. At first, Cole brushed it off as instinct, old training, old habits. But then strange things began to happen. One night, he found footprints, human ones, circling the far side of his cabin. Fresh, too fresh. He scanned the woods, hand instinctively sliding to where a sidearm once hung on his hip. Nothing, just the echo of trees shifting in the wind. The next day, as Cole chopped firewood, the shepherd suddenly bolted forward a few steps, teeth bared, growling at something unseen. Its stance wasn't random fear. It was defensive – protective. Cole froze, axe halfway lifted. "What do you see?" he whispered. The dog didn't blink, didn't look away. Its eyes were locked on the same dark stretch of forest, as if waiting for something to emerge. That night, Cole heard noises again. Branches breaking. A low thud. And through the window, he saw the shepherd standing guard, body rigid, tail stiff, staring into the trees with a focus that made cold sweat creep down Cole's spine. This wasn't coincidence. The dog wasn't watching him. It was watching over him. The next morning, Cole stepped onto the porch, expecting to see the shepherd sitting in its usual place, still as the snow, loyal to its silent vigil. But the clearing was empty. The untouched blanket of white stretched out before him like a blank page, and for the first time in weeks, no dark silhouette waited at the edge of the woods. Cole frowned, scanning the tree line. Nothing moved. No ears, no shadow, no familiar outline. "Where are you, buddy?" he murmured. He waited. 10 minutes, 15, still nothing. A strange uneasiness stirred in Cole's chest. Something he hadn't felt since deployment. The sense that something was wrong. He pulled on his jacket and trudged down the steps, boots sinking into the deep snow as he made his way toward the spot the dog always occupied. The ground told a story, instantly tracks, but not the usual circular pacing marks. These were chaotic, scattered, as if the dog had been moving frantically. Cole's breath caught. Beside the paw prints were deeper impressions, long and narrow, like marks from something being dragged or someone. A trail led straight into the forest. Cole hesitated, staring into the dark, unwelcoming wall of trees. Every instinct screamed danger, but a stronger instinct pushed him forward. The dog had been watching that forest for days. Maybe it had finally confronted whatever was out there. He followed the trail, branches scratching his coat, cold biting his face. The deeper he went, the more the forest closed around him, quiet, still, almost holding its breath. And then he saw it, a patch of disturbed snow, a collapsed shape half buried beneath broken branches. Cole's heart slammed against his ribs. He ran. Cole dropped to his knees beside the collapsed shape, hands trembling as he brushed away clumps of snow and broken branches. The shepherd lay half buried, sides rising and falling in shallow, strained breaths. Its fur was matted with dirt, a streak of blood staining the snow beneath its chest. "Hey, hey, buddy." "I'm here," Cole whispered, voice cracking in a way he didn't expect. The dog's eyes fluttered open at the sound. Even weak and injured, it tried to lift its head, as if reporting for duty. That's when Cole saw it, something half hidden beneath the dog's body. A torn piece of fabric, dark blue and weather-worn. He gently pulled it free. His breath hitched. It was part of a canine vest. He brushed off the snow, revealing faded lettering. "Canine Officer." Shadow beside the vest fragment. Buried under debris lay an old, cracked metal badge and a water-damaged photograph. Cole lifted the picture carefully. A younger man in uniform stood proudly beside the same shepherd, healthy, strong, eyes full of purpose. The dog let out a soft whine, nudging the photograph with its nose. Cole swallowed hard. Shadow hadn't been astray. He had been searching, mourning. And the reason he came to Cole's cabin every day was because Cole looked just like the partner he'd lost. Cole gently slid his arms under the injured dog. "Come on, Shadow," he whispered, voice firm with new resolve. "I'm not losing you too." Cole pushed through the forest with Shadow cradled in his arms, every breath turning to steam in the freezing air. By the time he reached the cabin, his muscles trembled. But he didn't stop until the dog was safely inside, lying near the fireplace. For hours, Cole cleaned Shadow's wounds, wrapped them carefully, and fed him warm broth from a spoon. The shepherd watched him with tired, trusting eyes that no longer carried suspicion, only recognition. Days passed. Slowly, Shadow regained strength. He followed Cole around the cabin, limping at first, then walking with more confidence. One evening, as the fire crackled softly, the dog rested his head on Cole's knee for the first time. It wasn't just affection. It was acceptance. Cole felt something shift inside him, a weight lifting, a purpose returning. Shadow hadn't been abandoned. He had been grieving. Cole crafted a new tag from a piece of polished metal and knelt beside the shepherd. "Shadow," he said gently, fastening it to a fresh collar. "You're home now." The dog's tail thumped once. Slow and certain. Two broken soldiers, one man. One canine finally healing the only way they knew how, together.